Hello everyone, today we're going to be solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. Okay, so on the left side of the screen you see our steps for doing that. Our steps are we're going to move all terms to one side of the equation, and it should look like ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. I have to have 0 on the right side in order to use the quadratic formula. Okay, the next step, we're going to divide by a common factor. You don't have to do this. You can still get the right answer if you don't do it, but it's going to make our numbers smaller. And then we're going to identify what a, b, and c are. So we're just looking for the coefficients of x squared, that's my a, whatever's in front of the x is my b, and whatever the number is, that is c. And then we'll just take those numbers and we will plug them into the quadratic formula, which we see down below. Okay, so this problem that we see over here, we already have 0 on the right side, so we can identify what a, b, and c are. A is 5, okay, b is negative 12, and c is 4, okay? So put that into the quadratic formula, and we have x is equal to the opposite of b. The formula says negative b. So if b is negative 12, the opposite of b is going to be positive 12, all right, plus or minus the square root of b squared, and we're going to put parentheses around that b, okay, and then minus 4 times a, which is 5, times c, which is 4. Okay, and then all of that's going to be over 2 times a. Okay, and there's a lot going on here. Please do not try to type all of this into your calculator at one time. What I like to do is break it into smaller chunks. So I have this part, we have this part here, and then we also have the bottom here. Okay, so let's break it into those 3 pieces. So x is equal to, I have 12 on top, okay, plus or minus the square root of, and then 12 squared is going to be 144, minus 4 times 5 times 4, that's going to be 80, and then all that's over 2 times 5, which is 10, okay? So let's just simplify that a little bit more. Let's simplify the inside of our radical. So we have 12 plus or minus root 64 over 10, okay? I can take the square root of 64. So the square root of 64 is going to be 8. So that's going to give me x is equal to 12 plus or minus 8 over 10. So now from here, I have 2 different equations. I either have 12 plus 8 over 10, or I have 12 minus 8 over 10. Okay, so 12 plus 8 is going to be 20 over 10, and that's just going to be 2. The other one, that's going to be 4 over 10, and that would simplify down to 2/5. And those are the solutions to this thing. Okay, here's another example. Before I jump into using the quadratic formula, I have to get 0 on the right side. So we're going to subtract 3x squared from both sides. That will give us 6x squared minus 23x plus 20, and that's equal to 0. Okay, so now we're going to identify what a, b, and c are. So a is 6, b is negative 23, and then c is positive 20. So we're going to sub those things in. So x is equal to, the opposite of b is going to be 23, plus or minus the square root of negative 23 squared minus 4 times 6 times 20. Okay, all of that's going to be over 2 times 6. Okay, so again, break it into these 3 pieces. Okay, so the first part is just 23. Okay, then we have plus or minus the square root of, okay, so 23 squared is going to be 529 minus 4 times 6 times 20, that's 480. And that is over 2 times 6, which is 12. Okay, so let's simplify the inside of the radical. That's going to be 23 plus or minus root 49 over 12. Okay, so now we have x is equal to 23 plus or minus 7 over 12. So we have 2 different expressions here. So we have 23 plus 7 over 12, and we also have 23 minus 7 over 12. Okay, so this one's going to be 30 over 12. That's going to simplify down to 5 over 2. And that's one of our answers. This one is going to be 16 over 12. And that will simplify down to 4/3. And that's it. One more. So let's take a look at just one more. So again, we need to get 0 on the right side. So we're going to subtract 6x from both sides. This time we're going to have 16x squared minus 16x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so my a this time is 16, b is negative 16, and c is negative 5. Okay, so we're going to sub those things in. X is equal to the opposite of b, which is positive 16, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and then all of that is over 2 times a. Okay, so again, we have these 3 pieces here that we're breaking this thing down into. Okay, so the first part, we have x is equal to 16, okay, plus or minus the square root of negative 16 squared. It's going to be 256 minus, okay, 4 times 16 times negative 5. That is actually going to be plus 320. And all of that is over 32. Okay, so now just simplify this thing a little bit, and we get x is 16 plus or minus the square root of 576 over 32, okay? So the square root of 576 is going to be 24. So we have 16 plus or minus 24 over 32. So we have these 2 different expressions, 16 plus 24 over 32. We also have 16 minus 24 over 32. Okay, so here we're going to have 40 over 32, and that actually simplifies down to 5/4. So that's one of our solutions. This one is going to be -8 over 32, and that's going to simplify to -1/4. And those are our solutions. Okay, so really we're just following the quadratic formula here. So please go check out the assignment on Canvas. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.